Hey all y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie. This is where I talk about knitting, my tips, my tricks, my opinions, and my preferences. And I got some party makeup on because we made it. It is the end of 2020. But before we bring in the new year of 2021, I thought I'd take a look back at my crafting life. I'm going to share with you my favorite moments, maybe my best moments, maybe not the best moments, and some disappointments. You know, you experience it all when you're crafting. So, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and find out my best and worst of 2020 craft life. In the description box is a list of materials featured in this video with affiliate links. If you click on an affiliate link and make a purchase, I will receive a small commission, which helps support my channel. My channel exists to spread the joy of knitting and crafting, and I will not recommend anything that does not fulfill that mission. Thank you for your support. I have always enjoyed end of the year rankings since I was a kid. I would get like magazines or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, it's the top 10, top whatever, top best, top worst. I just loved reading about it. I don't know why I get such a kick out of it, but I do. Sometimes even looking back at something that wasn't maybe the greatest thing in the world, it can be cathartic because we can all kind of share and like, oh yeah, that wasn't fantastic. That was like kind of whoa. You know, you can kind of poke fun at it a little bit. And I want this to be fun. I hope this is fun. We're going to cover fun things mostly. Hopefully even some of my worst, not so favorite moments are still fun things to look back on. And remember when. Remember when you did that thing that you did. Ravelry and New Rav. I am not going to recap all of the drama about New Rav and Ravelry. I'm just not going to. I don't feel like bringing all that into this video. Here's the thing. When New Rav first launched, and I went on the website just to look at the aesthetics before I knew about all of the adverse reactions that people were having to it, I will confess, and it's there in my video, I said, hey, I basically like it. I like that it looks cleaner and fresher and more modern. And I stand by that initial knee-jerk 10,000-foot perspective on what New Rav looks like. However, even in that video, I did say at the time that there were things about it I didn't like. I didn't love all of the color choices. In particular, I didn't like the buttons. There was one button in particular I thought looked like trash, which was the cyan blue with that hard drop shadow. I've never liked that. So I always have had issues, some critiques, I should say that. I always had critiques of New Rav aesthetic. Even the little round logo, the badge, you know, where it's just the circle and the little R in it. Do you realize it's not a full circle? It's lumpy. In fact, they call it lumpy. And why? But over the last couple of months, they have done some things that, as I've looked closer at it, I have come to realize that Ravelry, the people at Ravelry, the design team, their aesthetic sensibility, if I'm going to be kind, I'm going to say, isn't my taste. But yeah, Ravelry, they're a disappointment. Not because of their accessibility issues. That's what makes them a disappointment. All the petty aesthetic stuff is like, wouldn't matter if for the, like, I wouldn't care. I'd just be like, yeah, they're not my taste, whatever. But I kind of like, let me put it this way. because of their accessibility issues, I don't feel the need to defend Ravelry's rather terrible aesthetic sensibilities, in my opinion. Turnabout is fair play. And I am not perfect, and I don't always have the best ideas. And I think my biggest fail of 2020 that at least I can think of at the moment is this. What is this, you ask? This was my attempt at knitting a flip-flop like slipper. And I mean, I got the overall design of it. It's but the problem is I wanted to felt this. This is lamb's pride wool, and I just couldn't get it to felt enough. This is too floppy, and I need something underneath of it, like an actual sandal, an actual sole, like a rubber plastic flip-flop sole to attach to this. It didn't work out. It didn't work out the way I wanted. Let's put it this way. The inspiration for this, maybe that's what I'll do with it. Maybe I'll put some googly, oh geez, I just thought of how I can salvage this. Maybe I'll put some googly eyes on this and give it to my daughter as a puppet. I think I can put some googly eyes on this and have a little puppet like a little hand puppet for my daughter. So it's a toy. I turned it into a success. So, Slipper, how was your 2020 project? Well, you sat me to the side and never made me a partner and gave up on me. So, my 2020 has not been so fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, you know what? 2021 is coming. I think I have a new way to utilize you. Really? Yeah, 2021 could be looking up for you. Oh my god. I had one product in particular that is my most disappointing thing to try out product-wise this year, and that was the Addi Flexi Flips. They're meant to be utilized to knit small circumferences like socks, cuffs, things of that nature. Not one thing about these Addi Flexi Flips gave enough of an advantage to me to make the $25 to $30 price tag of this worth it. Nothing. The only advantage to these, to me, over DPNs or 2 circulars or Magic Loop is that you personally prefer it. But it wasn't just the fact that this product isn't right for me that made these so disappointing. It's the design of them as well. I love fast needles. I love the Addi sock rockets. I love my Addi interchangeables. I love Addi needles. I love how fast they are. But this, to me, just has this gimmicky design, which is that each one has a different tip, because Addi has 2 different tip styles. They have their regular tips, and then they have their rockets. The rockets is basically a lace tip needle. So this end here is the rocket end, and this is their regular end. And I know that people feel like, I've read this review, they feel like they get 2 different types of needles in one with this type of system. I personally hated it. There's the whole issue of making sure you're knitting the right needle in your right hand, making sure that you have the tip that you want to work with in your right hand. But there's also the issue that no matter what you do, like the needle in my left hand is going to have one style of tip, and the needle in my right hand, if I grab it correctly, will have the opposite style of tip. And I just not a fan of it. And it's just really gimmicky, and I was just kind of disappointed. Even if someone came to me and said, I really want to try these sort of flexible DPNs, what do you think? Because I don't like any of the other methods I've tried. I would tell them, give it a go. Not for me, but you might really enjoy it. But don't get these. I wouldn't recommend these. I would try out the Hayas or the Denise, because Denise has them as well. Depending on what kind of material you want to work with, I would try one of those before I went with these Addi Flexi Flips. Because, 2 separate tips? Why? I mean, I know why, but rhetorically, why? This is it. Comes in at number meh. And that is my, what was going to be a scarf, it became a cowl. I have not named it. project. I'm like, what's so wrong with it? Why am I disappointed in it? Why am I so sad when I look at it? Because I'm a little sad. The thing is, when I'll put it on. I will put it on. Please stay on. Okay. And when it's on, that trellis pattern is just, it's lost. You don't really see it because this isn't meant to be a cow. Although, oh, you know what though? Looking at it, if it... Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm going, you know what? If I just put it on and I don't worry about the trellis pattern, the knit pearl combination not being seen, it's a perfectly comfy cow. It's very functional. It's just that the stitch pattern is lost. Like, do you see, like, peekaboo? Do you see the stitch pattern? It's just kind of lost. This is just an example of how form and function really do need to go together, because functionally this totally works, but the form of that stitch pattern that I chose to do this with, because I was really thinking of it, envisioning it as a scarf, it doesn't work as a cowl. We're going to start getting now into my favorites of 2020, the good and the best. And a product that totally surprised me was from my acrylic yarn review, and that is the Joann's Big Twist. I ended up ranking this number 1. Full disclosure, I am now a Joann's affiliate. I was not, however, at the time that I did this video. And it is soft. It is so pleasant to work with. You know, every few weeks or so on a Facebook group or somewhere, I'll see someone complaining about acrylic and it being terrible. And I want to be like, no, acrylic has come a long way, baby. And Big Twist is totally an example of a acrylic yarn that is like, good. This is good quality yarn and at a very affordable price. So yeah, if you want to try an acrylic yarn, I highly recommend the Big Twist. I'm trying to think if I have anything negative to say about it. If I did, it was probably in that video that I did. By the way, if there's any videos that I reference in today's countdown, they will be linked down in the description box. So I have a weird category in my life. Maybe you do too. There's the finished, there's the object, the project that you are one step away from finishing, and for some reason you never quite finish. You never finish that last step. You never quite get there. I'm so guilty of this. So guilty. So I have my best project, why didn't I finish that sooner? Project of 2020. I have this little dress. It started off as, you know, a baby dress, and then as the years went by, 1 year went by, it became, it'll be like a little toddler jumper shirt kind of thing. And now my daughter, who is very tall, I have a very tall daughter. I'm not tall at all. I'm 5'1". It would actually probably still fit her, but it would probably come like here. It would probably be like a weird crop top on her at this point. But you know what? I have to say, it's really cute, and I really did enjoy making it. And this is one of those classic examples in my life of, I started this from a pattern. This started off as a pattern, and I basically redesigned the whole thing. I was like, I want to do welts, so I put in welts. And I'm going to do seed stitch here at the top, so I put seed stitch here at the top. And I was a little worried about running out of yarn because I had like a finite amount of this yarn available to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do some decreases right here and have the skirt come in a little bit, kind of maybe in a stylish way. But that is something that I love with knitting and crafting in general, is even if you start the pattern with a little bit of knowledge, just a little bit of knowledge, you can always take it in a direction that you want to go and make those choices. And this was it doesn't always work out. There's plenty of times where I'm like, I'm going to totally change the design, and it didn't work out at all. But there are times where you make changes and you're really happy with the result. So I'm really happy with this. Yeah, I'm just really happy with it. So if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I love my notions and I love my stitch markers. I'm very particular about my stitch markers. Like, I really have been of the opinion that there's no way that anything is going to impress me more, that I will love more than either a bolt pen or the basic Clover locking stitch marker. 2020 was here to prove me wrong in a great way, because I have found a new stitch marker that I really like. This stitch marker right here. I found these at Michael's, and this is a Loops and Thread, which is a Michael's brand, and it is just a ring that crosses over, and you can very easily open it up like this, slip it into your stitch, and it stays put. And this does what I always wanted this stitch marker to do. This is a split ring stitch marker, and when I saw these, I thought, oh, this could be the perfect intersection of what a ring stitch marker can be and a locking stitch marker. Like, I could just quickly put on a stitch and not have to worry about it, but this never worked the way I wanted it to. This always fell off. Never used these. This stitch marker does the thing that I wanted the split ring stitch marker to do. Do I still love my bulb pins? Absolutely. Do I still love my Clover locking stitch markers? Absolutely. But this has now a place in my heart. This was a really pleasant surprise of 2020. So happy I found these. Mwah. So I love nothing more than a DIY hack for some kind of tool. And my preferred medium is cardboard. And I do have a favorite DIY thing that I came up with. And that is my yarn winding station. I don't know if you watched my video of paper towel rolls, hacks, and crafts. If not, down in the description box. But I came up with this video idea right when toilet paper shortage was happening, and I got in my head, like, how can I use toilet paper rolls in my knitting, crocheting, fiber life? And I came up with a few different things, projects that I could do, and one of them was to build this. Now, mind you, there's already been an accident, and there was a paper towel roll here, or toilet paper roll here, but it came off because I wasn't gentle when I put it somewhere safe. I didn't put it somewhere safe. But this is still totally usable with the 3. What I loved most was that I came up with this slide. This slides like this so that you can adjust the tension of the hank appropriately. I'm trying to show off my genius. You're not cooperating. There we go. Would I say that this is a substitute for my Swift and ball winder? No. But if you can't afford, or you're saving up for a Swift and a ball winder, something like this, you can totally wind a center pole ball with something like this. If you want to see how I did, it's in the video, my crafts and hacks video. Like I said, it'll be linked down below, but I'm so proud of this. I never want to throw this away. I still and I can always replace this this toilet paper roll right here. But yeah, you and me, buddy, we got a long life ahead of us. Yes, I talk to inanimate objects. Don't judge me. I have my best. Why didn't you finish that sooner? Now it's my best. This is going to be my best unfinished object that's going to roll into 2021 and hopefully be vying for a spot for the best why didn't you finish that sooner 2021 project. We'll see. Could roll into 2022. You never know with me. This is my tunic project. Let me roll it out here. So this is my tunic project. Whee! Now the front part, you might be going, Carrie, that's just plain stockinette with some garter at the bottom. And you are correct. That's by design. That is how I designed this. And that's part of the reason this is my favorite and my best, is because I have designed this. I've had this project in my head for a very long time. And I finally this year sat down, figured out measurements, figured out a schematic, and I finally started working on it. But the thing is, and I've always had it where it would be like in my head where the front is just perfectly fine, perfectly nice bit of knitting, but the back is where the drama would be. This is the back, what it looks like. I got this stitch pattern out of the Japanese Stitch Bible, and I am in love. Things are falling off my desk. Starts off with the same garter stitch border, and it comes into this panel, and I'm just so in love with this panel. This, which is really a twisted stitch cabling pattern, has this lacy quality at the same time because of these eyelets, and things are just a little looser, and I just love it. And I plan for this to be a razor back tunic, and I'm getting to the point and this is where I've stalled a little bit lately, where I'm going to do the split off into the two shoulder pieces. So that is the thought process. I hope that made sense. Let me know if you have questions down in the comments, and let me know what is your favorite project that you're going to be turning over into 2021. So I've showed you my favorite unfinished object. I showed you my favorite why didn't you finish that sooner, Carrie? But I have my best favorite finished object all done within this year. Very recently, I might add. And that is these. These are the Old English Lace boot cuffs by That Metzbauer Girl. I did this project for Fasten Off 2020. If you want to know more about it, I have some live streams where I've talked about it, and I have a link down in my description box to what Fasten Off 2020 is and was. And I just really, it's a small project, which is in many ways my favorite kind of project. I do well with small projects. Let's just put it that way. I do well with small projects, but I really enjoyed this, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. My sister loves them. I'm going to make her a pair. And I think what has been really delightful about this is I'm somebody who has oftentimes gotten caught up with,
well, I want to design my own thing. I want to do my own thing. I have this other idea.
I love doing that, but it is a time-consuming process. This project reminded me that sometimes it's really enjoyable for somebody else to have done the thinking or a lot of the thinking for you, and for you to just sit and do it. Just sit and do the work. This is definitely just one of my best moments. I don't even want to categorize it, and that is trying to drop spin. Yes, I'm still in love with smelling the roving. Don't wake up and smell the coffee, wake up and smell the roving. Oh my god. I haven't been able to do as much of the drop spinning as I'd like, but I feel like I definitely have gotten better. I got a really nice consistent spin right there, didn't I? Wow, I did really good in that section. I still don't know yet if this is going to be a craft that I stick with, that I become obsessed with, the way that I am with knitting or seed beading or one of those. But I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making my drop spindles, both of them. My other drop spindle, let me get it. This is the other drop spindle that I made. I really enjoyed making this drop spindle. Maybe it's a little bit, I didn't end up using it in the video because I was worried about it not surviving. I was worried about it getting destroyed. But I actually, I wouldn't mind trying to use this as a drop spindle, but I enjoyed making both my drop spindles. I'm enjoying making this yarn. I'm enjoying trying to figure out what I will eventually, this wasn't spun on very strongly. I'm learning, okay, I'm learning. If you haven't watched my video on drop spinning, my first time drop spin, it was literally my first time. I never drop spinned before. I sat in front of a camera, having not done it at all, and did it. And this is where I am now. When I first started playing this video, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, God, what am I going to talk about? Have I really accomplished that much this year? Have I really made that much stuff? Have I really crafted that much stuff? And as I started going through, I realized I had done more than I realized. In fact, there's things I didn't even talk about in this video, but I haven't really gotten to my favorite thing, my best thing of 2020. And that has been Knit Tea Live and my YouTube channel and building this community. I mean, I hit over 500 subscribers at the end of the year, which blows my mind, and I'm so amazed. But Knit Tea Live specifically has been such a joy. I look forward to doing it every Sunday. There's like people who show up every week, and we chat and we show things off and we talk about, you know, our love of knitting or crafting. And you know, during Knit Tea Live, like, you guys have helped me pick out yarn for projects, and it's just been a real delight. And it's, I think, probably like one of those things where I was very nervous to do it. It's one of those things I was very nervous to start doing. It's like, do I have enough subscribers to start live streaming? Can I figure this out? Do I have the right equipment? But I just dove in and decided to do it. I didn't completely dive in blind. I did some tests, and I still had all sorts of technical problems. I still had technical problems come up, but we figured it out, and people keep showing up, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to everybody who's come to my channel and watched videos and left comments, or given me thumbs up, who've encouraged me along the way. And I hope that I have brought some joy into your craft life in return, because I've gotten so much out of this. So thank you, because you are the best thing in 2020, like, hands down. That is my 2020 year in review. I would love to hear your thoughts. What things have you done this year that you're proud of, that you're excited about? What projects did you have that maybe weren't as successful, but maybe you learned something out of it? Or maybe as you look at it again, you realize, oh, I can turn into a success by adding some googly eyes to it. Like it's down on the floor, I can't get to it. But like my mitt, whatever it is, I would love to hear about it down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your knitting friends. Also, you can ring in the new year by hitting subscribe and the notification bell, which will let you know whenever I upload a new video or start a live stream. Subscribing to my channel, you'll never miss a thing, and it's a great free way to help support what I do here. And if you would like to support my channel in other ways, please consider using one of my affiliate links. If you use one of my affiliate links while you're shopping, if you buy anything, I will get a small commission in return. And that just helps support my channel. And because I buy supplies, when I review things, I have to buy those things for review. So any little bit helps. Or if you'd like to leave me a tip, you can always buy me a coffee. I hope that you have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, weeknight, whenever you may be watching this. I hope you have a fantastic, healthy, prosperous, whatever prosperity means to you. I hope you have a prosperous 2021. And as always, happy health and happy knitting. Bye. And we have made it. We are it. We are it. We are at. Sound like a baby pterodactyl. How do I know what a baby pterodactyl sounds like? I have no idea, but it's what I imagine a baby pterodactyl sounds like. Anyway, so. And that's how the toilet paper roll broke off, was because I did that. But this time everything survived. It's okay. I've had so much fun with this video. I didn't expect to, but I have. Alright. I gotta go. I gotta have lunch. I'm hungry. Oh my gosh.